What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Tommy Dizzaster.
And Ron Ranco reporting to Dizzaster Gaming as ordered, sir.
Ryan looks like the retarded cousin of Duck Dynasty. Anyway, two parts of Dizzaster Gaming, and of course, Spaz got other obligations, and a few other people couldn't do it today just because they have other things going on. A spur of the moment type thing. But anyways, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's part of Dizzaster Gaming. Bendosaurus Rex. We got fucking Ace Gunner.
Needy Samurai.
Needy Samurai. We got there's a bunch of people.
Spaz.
I just want to give a shout out to everyone there. What's that?
Can't forget Spaz.
Right, Spaz. Shout out everyone. If you guys are watching this, you're in for a treat. I can tell you that. What we're going to talk about today is, of course, what everyone's talking about now. Everyone's talking about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and the biggest thing about it is a connection issue. We're going to cover the entire game. Okay. Spoiler-free, hopefully. Duck Dynasty can repress itself a bit from spoiling anything.
Duck Dynasty did not beat the game, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, technical difficulties. I got to catch up. Ron Ranco reporting to... Oh, there we go.
That's still funny. I don't care.
Ill prepared.
Anyways, we don't get a chance to do these a lot, so whenever we do it, get a chance, we try to take advantage. That's why most of the time it's a spur of the moment type thing. We'd really like to get like a schedule down, but I mean it doesn't look like that's gonna happen anytime soon. Oh shit. As of right now, anyways, just because of everyone's work schedules. But we still manage to have time to do what we love, and that's play video games, bitch. And we have a lot of releases that have come out, and of course Black Friday's coming right around the corner, so there's a bunch of deals going on and so on and so forth. But I'm rambling now, so let's just jump right into Advanced Warfare and what we thought of the game before we go into a lot of the details. So initially, what did you think of the game, Ryan?
I was actually very pleased with the game. You want to start with the multiplayer or the single player?
We can start with single player.
All right. I'll go as far as I can with single player because I did not beat it to my understanding. I'm about halfway through it. Mm-hmm. But very impressed with the story as compared to the other ones. It actually kept me into it, and I wanted to keep playing to see what happened. And I think a big portion of that has to do with Kevin Spacey, to be honest, because Kevin Spacey's the man, and his acting in the game was just like his acting in the movies, and he's a fucking great actor. So he kept me into it, and the missions, pretty much the same missions as we always have in Call of Duty. But for me, just getting to that next cutscene to see what Kevin Spacey was going to do next, definitely worth the $60 to me. The gameplay feels solid. The guns feel solid. Still have a little bit of love-hate with the exosuit, but I think Titanfall had a good bit to get everybody ready for that before it come out.
I got you. I kind of feel the same way, actually, especially about the campaign. If it wasn't for a great actor like Kevin Spacey, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much because they really needed to have someone to deliver, the emotion and what have you in it. And in my personal opinion, I think this is the second best Call of Duty campaign that I've played since Call of Duty 4. But it's kind of the same missions. I wish they would change it up a little bit in terms of what you have to do. I know they added a stealth element into it a little bit more than usual. But I mean, it's normal, just like any other Call of Duty campaign. You get on a bike or a car and you go here and then you fight some people, and then your character gets hurt or gets put in an unlikely situation, and now you got to find your way back to your team, and then all of a sudden you got to leave because you're getting attacked. Like, it's the same, repugnant. What's the word I'm looking for?
I can't think of a Call of Duty game where your main character didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go with this one because it's the first mission, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling it for anybody. But in an explosion, propeller comes down, takes your arm off. Was it Call of Duty 4? You was in the helicopter when the nuke went off, and your helicopter went down, and you crawled around, and I believe that character died. Um, Pretty sure you got hurt in Black Ops, but I can't remember what it was offhand. But the moral of the story is there. Every Call of Duty, your character is getting mutilated in some way or another. I think it was Modern Warfare 2. You got shot in the chest, and you was laying on the ground trying to peg that dude in the head while he was fighting somebody else.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Like I agree with you, and I'm glad you brought that up immediately because this is one thing that I want game developers to change because they make you out to be this Rambo super soldier that fucking saves the day at the end of the game, of every game, and yet throughout the whole adventure, your guy's a weak piece of shit. You know what I mean? How's this dude get his arm cut off, be able to fucking stop Kevin Spacey's character? You know what I mean? Or any other Call of Duty? You know what I mean? How is he this little shit who keeps getting his ass kicked and just gets by the skin of his teeth? How is he still able to save the day? Like when I'm playing the campaign, I'm really playing it for the story because the character you play as is always some weak fuck. Like always, they always make you out to be the weak, or you're getting put in unlikely situations. You know what I mean? And I wish they changed that up because it just gets old after a while.
As soon as you start to feel stronger, I mean, then that shit
Your
happens.
legs are
I
cut
don't
off
want to
from
go
under.
into too much detail about, but then you have to join Sentinel. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just like you said. But yeah, one of our viewers here says it's a war game, so you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, of course it's a war game. But to that, my point of it is to the viewer, whoever it is, I appreciate your perspective. But it's a video game at the same time. You're the hero. So at the end of each one of them, there's not really a climactic ending because it all leads up to that thing. You get your ass kicked throughout the whole thing, and at the end you triumph. You're triumphant over this super evil, and it's just super annoying because it doesn't make any sense. Think about it. I mean, throughout the campaign, just this one, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but just throughout this campaign, because I've beat it, my character died almost like 7 times, and he was always saved by some unlikely person or hazard or something. And it's like, come on, this is not how it's going to happen. I mean, they're going for the realistic feel, even though it's a video game. Like, come on, you gotta give and take some, in my opinion. But I mean, overall, I love the campaign. It's my second favorite Call of Duty campaign to play. I started to play it on, I think, regular difficulty, and I got like the first mission in, and I was like, I'm just gonna stop playing on there, and I'm just gonna create a whole new thing and play it through as veteran. That and the fact that you get some exo gear for your multiplayer character if you beat it on veteran. So that's why I did it.
I probably don't want to say this, but I played it on recruit just because I wanted to beat the story as fast as possible so I could go into multiplayer, which I never did beat the story.
But it's crazy though, because no one plays it for the story, and that was my perspective going into this. Like, who cares about the story? Yeah, they're getting Kevin Spacey. No one cares. You're buying this game for multiplayer. That's the first thing that I jumped into when I bought it, and they were like, "Hey, we suggest you play the campaign first to get a feel for it." And I was like, "No, I'm going in the multiplayer." But after some of the stuff that I've seen, the direction the campaign was going, I mean, I had to start playing it, and I'm glad I did because they really improved it. Sledgehammer Games, I take my hat off to you because you really nailed it with the story, in my opinion, anyways.
I don't know if nailed it would be my words, but greatly improved for sure.
Well, see, that's the beauty of the two perspectives, 3 perspectives, whatever. That's the point of this. That's the point of this hangout. That's the point of Dizzaster Gaming, to have these respectful debates or views, because I think they nailed it from Call of Duty 4 all the way up. I don't think the storyline in the campaigns were that great at all.
Black Ops was pretty good. In my opinion, Black Ops was one of the best ones they did, other than 4. I don't think anything will ever top 4.
It well, Black Ops 2 storyline wasn't bad, but in my opinion, it wasn't to the scale of Call of Duty 4 or Advanced Warfare. Like it really, I wanted to play the campaign once I started playing it more than I wanted to play the multiplayer, just because I wanted to progress the story and see, oh shit, what the hell happened. Even though I could have went on YouTube and just checked it out, I wanted to have that experience like I did with Call of Duty 4. And for the most part, I did, just not to that extent. I don't think it's going to hold a place in my oh so lovable heart like Call of Duty 4 does, but it's definitely made its impression on me, and hopefully Sledgehammer Games' next Call of Duty installment, they just improve more on what they've done.
Yeah, that's going to be because, like you said they got it spot on. I think they greatly improved it. Now that's going to light a fire under Treyarch's ass for the next one.
This is the thing I'm coming up with. Is Treyarch going to make another Call of Duty? That's my biggest concern, because, I mean, who just made Ghost? Wasn't it Infinity Ward?
I think so. I think Infinity Ward, then Sledgehammer should go to Treyarch, and then back to Infinity Ward.
Well, my thing is Ghost pretty much tanked. Everyone hated Ghost because it was just boring, and it was practically the same thing. As much as they tried to change stuff, they didn't. It was the same shit, and it just got boring after a while. But since Sledgehammer Games has stepped in to make the next installment, are they going to have like 3 different companies make, use the brand of Call of Duty?
That's exactly what their plan is, because by doing the 3-company rotation, every company that puts out a Call of Duty gets 3 years development instead of trying to crank it out in a year.
That's so stupid, though. That's going to be so oversaturated.
Well, I mean, it's already oversaturated. You figure when Infinity Ward started, I think they were the first ones, they were pumping out a year. And then Treyarch come in, and then they started rotating, but they're still pumping out 1 game a year. And even with the third, they're still planning 1 game a year. So the saturation never changed, but it's still oversaturated because it's the same game every year with a new cover.
See, that's my biggest concern is like, well, everyone's getting fed up with the Call of Duty franchise because they're putting them out 1 every fucking year, and as up to this point, nothing has really changed in terms of the gameplay or anything. It was pretty much the same shit, different kill streaks, different guns. That was it. Every other Call of Duty had the same gun. You'd have a M16 in this one. And the next one, you'd have a different version of the M16 that was burst fire. And then the next Call of Duty was an M16 that was auto. You know what I mean? Or you had one P90 that was a submachine gun. That was awesome. You can use as a main weapon. And then the next Call of Duty, your P90 was in the place of a handgun. Or you know what I mean? You get the gist of what I'm saying. And it's just like, you're not changing anything. You're just recycling stuff in its place, and it's just stupid. All the way up to this point, anyways. With
rinse and repeat.
Yeah. And now if 3 companies are going to make the Call of Duty franchise, how are they going to build on this? Because Sledgehammer Games they pretty much changed the way Call of Duty plays. And now if Treyarch makes a Call of Duty game, or if they've developed one already and they're getting ready to release one next year, what path are they going to go? Are they going to be using the same engine as Sledgehammer Games, has used now with the way that the movement and everything and the exosuits, or are they going to make like an older style World War II Call of Duty? Because now it's going to be hard to go backwards. You see what I'm saying? People are now getting used to this, and it's refreshing to the Call of Duty franchise. Now people are going to want more of this. So if they take the exosuits away, now the gameplay that's changed is going to go away as well.
Well, I mean, you say it's refreshing and new, but think about it. You started out with Modern Warfare, and you went to Modern Warfare 2, and then there was Modern Warfare 3, and now Advanced Warfare. Oh, and Ghost was in there. So now you're up to 5 Advanced Warfare titles, as opposed to all the World War II ones that were out. Mm-hmm. Once you hit Future Tech, which is where we're at now, where are you going to go? Where can they go from here?
That's what I mean.
You can't go Future Tech because we're already there. So
well, they can go backwards. I think they can go more future, but if they do that, you're going to end up with a Battlefield 2142, where it's too futuristic to where people are not going to want to fucking play with just laser guns exclusive. Call of Duty was getting a lot of shit because of the laser gun that they put in there. And for the most part, it's but it does some damage if you know how to use it. But it's kind of just like one of those gimmick guns to where, like, you'll just use it if you're feeling like, I don't know, you're feeling a certain way. I don't know. You know what I mean? But if they go to maximize the future and pretty much go that route with all their guns, they're going to ruin, pardon me, they're going to ruin it. But like you said, where are they going to go? Because now they're stuck in this, how can I say it? They're stuck in this time frame, so to speak, to where they've changed it for the better, in my opinion, because now, yeah, I mean, you still get a semblance of Call of Duty, but you also got a mix of Halo, mix of Battlefield. You're getting a little bit of everything, Titanfall. But now, what are they going to do for the next Call of Duties? Because they can't go backwards. They can't take the exosuits out and expect to still sell millions, because people are not going to want to play old school shit. The majority of Call of Duty players, I should say anyways. Because now it's going to go back to the same old shit, the old stuff they're going to be using. You understand what I'm saying?
I do and I don't, to a point. Like the people that's been around since the beginning, like myself, I would be geeked over another World War II title. But that's, coming from somebody who started playing when Call of Duty was in World War II, plus I'm a big World War II history buff, and I like all that shit.
I mean, I played Call of Duty. Call of Duty 2 is when I really started playing it. I really didn't start getting into it till Call of Duty 4, when multiplayer was really at its peak for consoles. But this is the thing, though. They've added the exosuits, they've added the exo abilities, and some of the use grenades. So if they take that stuff out of there, what are they going to put in replacement? You're going to get claymores again. You're going to get bouncing betties. You're going to get these tools that campers utilize. And I'm not saying that this game doesn't have campers, because we both know this game has campers in it, but it's weeded a lot of them out. You know what I mean? For the most part, these games that we get into, it's people running around or playing strategically.
The way the mini-map's set up on this new one, it's really hard to camp unless you're spec'd out to it. And even then, some of the attachments you put on your gun, whatever you spec out to go invisible, you're going to get seen anyway. And even the cloaking ability, I can spot somebody that's cloaked from a mile away.
Exactly. So they've done all this work to fix the franchise to a degree, or save it. Now, what happens when Treyarch or Infinity Ward puts out a Call of Duty? What direction are they going to go? Because now, like I said, they're in this funk. You're saying where they're going to go now. What they're already using in the future, so where they're going to go. But I'm saying they can't go backwards, because now you're pretty much disregarding the new shit that convinced people to buy your new game, because a lot of people weren't going to buy it. I wasn't going to buy it. You said you weren't going to buy it. Spaz said he wasn't going to buy it, yet we all three bought it because of all those changes. So if they rip all those things away and they just go with the bare bones, let's say, for example, Treyarch makes World at War II, let's just say. What if they make that? Now you're set backwards to the same engine that was used in World at War I, with the bouncing beddings and all these tools that are used for campers. No more exosuits, none of this stuff to where you can see people through walls if they're camping. You have this stuff that's utilized for running gunners like us. Now that stuff's taken away. So what's going to happen to the franchise?
Excuse me. I just got a message that said they should do a Vietnam one, and I don't think Vietnam. Yeah, they did. I think Black Ops was Vietnam. Was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Black Ops did take place in Vietnam.
I think so, or at least a part in the campaign took place in Vietnam.
I think a Vietnam game would do all right. It probably wouldn't do the millions that we're doing now, but I would buy a Vietnam Call of Duty in a heartbeat.
I mean, I would too, but it all depends on how. It's all depending on how it's done. If there's tools in there for people to just camp, and there's nothing for me to counter, and it makes me play a certain way, I'm not going to be a fan of it. And I think that's a big reason why I'm a fan of Advanced Warfare. Is I have now something to combat against people that camp and play like fucking douchebags. I'm not just gonna get destroyed in a lobby if people are doing that. You know what I mean? Whereas if I'm playing World at War II, whatever it is, now these people have bouncing betties and claymores and all this shit, and I can't run and gun as much. Now I have to play a certain way because of
Well,
other people.
you're always going to have campers and you're always going to have camping tools. But if they do go back to something like that, yeah, they can make a climbing system if they want to unglue you from the ground like the exosuits are doing now. I don't think the exosuits are something that have to be there to unglue you from the ground, which is why they're there in the first place, to make the maps more vertical. I mean,
What would they use though then?
well, that's what I mean. If if you want to get up on a roof, you could put in a climbing system so you could climb to the roof. You don't have to have this exosuit where you can double jump straight to the roof. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
there are ways around it to unglue you from the map, which is why the exosuits were put in the first place.
well, yeah, that I understand that. But the thing is like my point is they changed the gameplay. So now you're going to be used to these exosuits and dashing and what have you. And if they strip that away, then is people really going to adjust well? That's my concern. My concern is where are they going to go with this franchise? How are they going to continue to make a good Call of Duty without saturating it, watering it down with the same gameplay? Because everyone was tired of the same gameplay. Claymores, campers, blah, blah, blah. And now they've weeded a lot of that stuff out with this new release, so where are they going to go now?
I know as far as excuse me, the exosuits go, I got people tell me they hate the exosuits, and you even look on the Call of Duty playlist. They have the classic playlist where you go in and the exosuit doesn't do anything. So I mean, it's still there as long as they use the same gameplay mechanics like the basic engine. I think they'll be all right. I don't think that exosuit's a game breaker by any means.
I don't know, man. It might be for me. I don't know. But overall, how are you liking the multiplayer since we're into that now?
Multiplayer, when it works, is solid. And I say when it works because you're constantly on shit connections. One game you put 3 bullets in somebody and they'll drop. In the next game, you'll put
Empty a
2
clip.
clips on them and they'll turn around and kill you.
Right. Yeah, let's talk about that. The lag that's just fucking destroying this multiplayer. When it was announced, I don't know if they said it was going to be dedicated servers or if it was rumored to be dedicated servers. I want to say that they said that it was going to be dedicated servers. But the minute that I played my very first match, there was a host migration, and I'm like, so there is no dedicated servers for Call of Duty. And it doesn't look like there's going to be because, think about this, why would they spend more money when they know people's going to buy their product? Spend money, cost them more money, make less money off the actual game purchases. Why would they do that? They're not going to care because they know people's going to buy Call of Duty. They just know it.
Excuse me. The one thing I noticed, and I'm going to knock on some wood right here, I have yet to see a lag switcher. And I don't want to see a lag switcher.
See, I don't know if there's lag switchers out there or not. Maybe that's what's causing the issues. It's hard to tell because it's pointless to check your ping in game because none of that shit is ever accurate for the most part.
The matches you're doing good, it shows you as a red ping, and the matches you're getting raped, you got a full connection.
Yeah, so I mean, it's never fucking right. It's never right, and we're all subject to peer-to-peer still, even in next gen, which I think is complete bullshit.
And one of
plenty of money.
one of our regular viewers has messaged me and said they're even having problems on the older systems, same issues with the PlayStation 3.
Wow. Like, this is what I don't understand. Activision has so much money. The least they can do is make dedicated servers. Even if it was like, since they put out so many games, even if they let the servers up for like 5 years, let's say, for example, for each game, That's the lifespan they're going to get, and then they're going to cut it out because the new Call of Duty is going to take its place. I think that would even be a good idea if they were to use dedicated servers. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I'm actually trying to find what the sales were for for Advanced Warfare, because they sold millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of copies, and they can't afford to give us better connections.
Yeah,
They give
it's
us
just ridiculous.
they give us bullshit answers of why they can't give us dedicated servers.
And that they're fixing, they're known that they're aware of these issues on all the platforms, and they're working their hardest to fix them. And it's not just on one console. It's plaguing everything across the board. Xbox One,
Yeah,
PS4, all the previous gen, PC. Like, it's shitty connections everywhere.
on a title like Call of Duty, as big as it is, how many millions of copies they sell, whether the game is good or bad, there is absolutely no excuse why we should have anything less than dedicated servers and perfect connections.
Nothing at all. There's no reason. There's no reason at all. And you would think that, they would want to, give back to their community and make things right, but they don't give a shit. Activision does not care. That's it's a bold statement, but I'm gonna fucking come out and say it. They don't care about the consumers. If it's gonna cost them more money, they're not gonna make the consumer happy, because they already know that the majority of the people, yeah, they're gonna shell out the $60 or $100, whatever you get, collector's edition or whatever, on top of the season pass, which is another $50. They know people are blindly gonna buy that shit. They know this for a fact, so they're always gonna make a profit off of the franchise. And it's bullshit, because the hardcore people that's been around Call of Duty for, ever, are the ones that are fucking pissed off about it, and they don't like the way that shit is going in terms of the multiplayer. I never experienced lag like this. I don't know about you. I never experienced lag like this on Call of Duty 4. Ever.
Excuse me. Call of Duty 4, I did to a point. It was never as bad as this. But Call of Duty 2, I never had problems with Call of Duty 2. And I don't know if it's because just the volume of people wasn't as big as it is now. But Call of Duty 2, all day, never had a problem. And I actually misread the one message that was sent to me saying there hasn't been any problems on the PlayStation 3 yet. But I stressed the word yet, because I'm going to tell him to keep playing, because it's going to happen.
Well, that makes you wonder, if it's not dedicated servers, why is one platform having issues and the other isn't? That's what don't make no fucking sense to me. It doesn't add up to me, and it's definitely concerning. But moving on from the shitty connection.
I got another message that said one of our viewers plays a game on dedicated servers. He said there's still lag, and they say it's your IP provider, which makes sense. It's always going to play a little bit in your IP provider, but when majority of the people are playing, like in this area, Atlantic broadband, 75 megabits a second, it shouldn't be their IP provider.
Well, this is my concern. If you can play an online game and get lag, and immediately turn that off, go to YouTube or a streaming site and stream a full movie at HD with no buffering, that's clearly not on your end. That's on the server's end. That's not your IP. Now, granted, sometimes it is. Your internet goes out because of weather or what have you. But for the most part, that's a way to test it. If you're having shitty games on online gaming and you're still able to stream Netflix or YouTube or something like that, then it's not on your end. It's clearly on their end. So, it's 50-50 at that point, in my opinion, anyways. But, moving on from the fucking shitty connection, overall, what do you think about the multiplayer? What do you like? What are your dislikes? So on and so forth.
The gameplay, like I said, feels solid. It feels like it's very responsive. The hit detection seems like it's dead on. The guns, the assault rifles, I should say, feel pretty good. Other than it, I got tongue-tied. Thanks, Chief. He's purposely trying to tongue-tie me. The submachine guns, the heavy weapons, the sniper rifles, I don't care for any of those or how they play. And even the burst fire assault rifles, I don't care for. But when I do get the full auto assault rifles, I can do some damage and I put out some serious numbers. The grenades feel like crap to me. It's almost impossible to get a grenade kill. So I don't even run grenades in my class anymore. The exosuit abilities are garbage. So I don't even run with an exosuit ability.
Damn.
My bad, people. I got a troll over here, trolling me.
Who's trollolololowing you?
Oh, one of our regulars trolling me about me drinking my Earl Grey tea and getting tea bagged in the mouth. That's why I'm getting tongue-tied.
Hey, it all adds up.
Yeah, but
Well,
exosuit's garbage. The kill streaks I think are garbage. Other than a certain few, the care packages I use, the UAVs I like, the sentries and the hacks, the system hacks. Other than that, I think they're garbage. They cost way too many points to get for barely anything as a reward.
Yeah. Real quick, let me cut you off. Spaz just texted me and he said he's gonna try to join like by using his phone. Is there any way to send an invite out to him?
Yeah,
I don't know if you can while you're live with Hangouts. I think you can, but it might have to come from you, Rhino.
I got him. I think I got him.
So we'll get his take then. Hopefully the quality isn't too crappy to where everyone can understand him, from the phone or whatnot. But we'll get his take at least on the multiplayer section of it. But was there anything else you wanted to add to it?
I mean, other than the shitty grenades, the shitty kill streaks, and the exo ability, I think everything else is solid and an improvement from the last game. Like I said, the hit detection was a big thing for me. Because I hate when somebody shoots behind you and still gets hit markers, and I haven't seen that being a problem unless there's lag in the room.
Yeah. I haven't seen any hit detection issue. If there was ever any kind of like bullet miss, it was due to lag. I'm shooting someone here, and all of a sudden the next second they're here because of lag. You know what I mean? So in terms of hit detection, I think it's spot on. But I'll give you my take on it. The multiplayer, anyways, we'll start off with, what did you start off with, Rhino?
As far as my class?
Yeah, you started off, was it the guns?
Well, I always start off with the guns. I'm a big assault rifle guy, so I always run assault. And the AK-12 feels like a solid gun to me, and then the HBR A3, is my favorite one. Regardless of what you think over there.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with the assault rifles then. For the most part, assault rifle, that's pretty much what I'm running, pretty exclusively anyways at this point, depending on the map. What's going on, Spaz?
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Welcome to the gun show.
Boom. Boom.
I'm trying to get some lighting situated in here. I'm sorry. I'm on my cell phone, everybody, so please excuse me for my tardiness.
Video
There
quality
we go.
is, but the audio is good, so it's all golden.
Always late to everything.
It's all good.
Absolutely.
Anyways, what we're doing now, Spaz, is we're just talking about, we're giving our rundown of the multiplayer, what we think of it, what we like and what we don't, what we dislike. And Ryan ran through his already, so I'm gonna just give mine. We'll start off with the assault rifles. I mainly run the assault rifle right now, depending on the map. But for the most part, I pretty much like the guns that Rhino does not like. For example, I like the burst fires. I haven't really used the ACR. I think that's what it is. It's burst fire in this game. Before it was all automatic. But I haven't ran that, but I do run the IMR. That's probably my favorite gun in the game now. It's a 4-round burst assault rifle, and I just beast with that one. I also like the AK-12, and what was the other one? The BAL, the BAL, or however you want to say it. Those are like the three main ones. I'll use the what's that single fire? It's the last one. I can't. MK14, I think is what it is.
Mark 14, yeah.
Yeah, I'll run that one if I'm feeling froggy. But for the most part, it's those three assault rifles. I think they're pretty good in power. I do feel that the submachine guns need to be buffed with a little bit better range and power, possibly, especially on the what is it? The what is it? Fucking what's that?
What class is it?
It's the submachine guns. It's the second one. Is that one?
The only submachine
The MP11, yes.
MP11. That's the one.
the
That
only
one's really good.
gun worth using is the ASM, in my opinion.
I like the ASM. I like the MP11. MP11 definitely needs a buff in power and damage because it just feels like I'm shooting a paintball gun.
Right.
But,
well, I like the ASM as well, Tommy, for the damage output. But I mean, when it comes to fire rate, the MP11, it's on point. It's
yeah.
too fast, but it's fast enough to where like you don't know how to react when you're getting shot by it. But
And you can put a rapid fire on it too, and that's what's crazy. So it'll even shoot fucking faster than that. But
Rapid fire on any submachine gun's overkill.
not necessarily. Not unless
not on this one. Honestly, I could actually say for once it's not too many things on this game is OP. I could say there's always a counteractive weapon or perk against everything on here to where you can possibly answer every single thing in this game. Unlike other Call of Duties. That's my opinion. And you guys just got quiet.
I'm sorry, I muted it. I was talking to
Tommy
for a
muted
minute.
himself over there.
But anyway,
I'm like, shit. Okay, what? Look at fucking little fucking Rhino over there with his freaking cup of coffee joke or something, you know?
Now let me set the record straight right now. This is Jean-Luc Picard, Earl Grey tea, because I know he's watching.
Oh, really? Really? We doing that now?
Yeah,
Is that brought to you by Shady Tea? Okay.
This is brought to you by the Tea of Captains.
sponsor.
Don't you mean Captain Tees?
If who the hell makes this? If Bigelow, I don't know how the fuck to pronounce it.
Deuce Bigelow makes that shit.
If they want to sponsor me with free Earl Grey tea, cheers. Oh yeah.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Moving on though, if you guys wait, Tommy, you wasn't done. I'm sure you wasn't. So please proceed, sir.
Yes. Well, I'll move on from the guns because we all know the other shit, special guns and crossbows and grenade launchers. No one uses that shit. I don't even know why they put them in the game. But anyways, we'll move on to the exo abilities and grenades. I like the fact that they added the exo abilities. There's a few ones they could have left out and maybe added something cooler. But for the most part, I think that's really cool. I like that. It gives a little bit of an advantage if you remember to use them. I hardly ever remember to use them. The exo shield. Everyone pretty much runs fucking cloak, but like you said, Rhino, it's not impossible to see them. And I'm a douchebag sometimes. I'll run around with a cloak and a shotgun. And
that is douchebaggery at its finest, right there.
Hey man, you got to combat douchebag with douchebag. But anyways, I like that. The grenades, I'm right there with you. It's hardly ever get a kill with a grenade, so most of the time I'll just use like a EMP or a threat grenade or something like that. But the grenades in this are kind of pointless. Like how they put the it's like the scanner drone or whatever it is.
The tracking device.
What is it?
Tracking device or threat grenade? Which one?
The tracking one. You get like it's a little bot that goes around the map and tracks people. I thought that was pretty cool. The scores. At first, I thought they were all kind of shitty, and for the most part, there's not really a lot of good ones. But I like some of them. Hacker. What is it? Is that what it's called? Hacker?
Yeah.
Hacker.
The one that disables their HUDs.
That's probably the best one.
You guys remembering anything? It's called System Hack. Okay. I see why I joined here. I can correct you guys on anything, alright? So I'm just here if you need me, okay? I'll be your spell check.
System Hack, anyways, is probably one of my favorite ones. Bombing Run is another one that I use. I don't use the Goliath. I think that's pointless. And the other two higher kill streaks, I don't like that. But I like the fact that you can customize that. I hope that don't get taken away in the next Call of Duty. I really like that. So for the most part, I mean, I'm really enjoying the multiplayer, which I didn't think I was going to.
One thing you didn't touch on was the maps. What do you think about the maps?
The maps.
The maps to me, I think they're not too small, but there's not. It seems like they're all the same to me. Just some you do better on, some you don't. They're all basically the same size. It feels like.
Well, I mean, I like the maps. I mean,
I have my favorites. Like right now, I'm playing as we speak, actually, because I was actually in the middle of games as it was. But I'm playing on Riot right now. That map is perfect because you have your certain aspects of the map where you can do your range sniping and your range attack. Then you could go ahead and you could go inside for some CQB. And then you have the other side, which is a mixture of both. That way you can do all aspects of the game.
see, I think they spent a lot of time on the maps, and they considered everything. That's why we don't have a lot of big maps on here, to where people, all they do is just snipe. What is the one forest map that's on here?
Instinct.
Instinct. That one, I'm not a huge fan on, but if we get that map when we're playing, you guys both know that I'll just snipe. Because running around is a fucking nightmare on that goddamn thing. The spawns on that one, specifically, definitely could change.
My take on the multiplayer is it's definitely still a Call of Duty game. And everything, which is a little disappointing to me because you have all these new abilities, which your extra abilities, your double jumping, your strafe, climbing, which is awesome, but it's not really being utilized to its full potential because it brings a whole new combat aspect to the game.
Oh, absolutely.
The weapons, my favorite weapons, I usually run with the HBR A3, which is similar to I'm first shooting a 5.56 round, which is your M4 type gun from previous quantities. Very accurate, which Tommy will disagree with.
Yo, your shit's breaking up, Spaz. It's
Your
hard to hear you.
audio is pretty much non-existent right now, Spaz.
Okay.
Is your TV up high?
No, my TV's down.
You're good now.
Okay. Well, I run with the HBR, which to me feels like the M4, which I like a lot. I tried the IMR. I don't like the burst fire. Now, previous owners of Call of Duty, if you guys remember, the IMR was a designated marksman rifle, and am I correct?
It didn't ring enough bell with me to stick in my head, so it must have been a shitty gun, I guess.
What is it?
It wasn't a sniper rifle, but it wasn't an assault rifle either. I'm pretty sure it was a DMR. But I like to hit that. I think it was burst fire in that game.
Your audio is starting to break out again, Spaz.
Fucking get on without me, Chuck.
It's your shitty phone.
Yes. It is.
Oh, this fucking cat. He wants to be a fucking superstar.
Yeah, should have went with that iPhone 5, cuz.
No, overall, I'm just going to say I like the game. The story mode, even though I did not complete it and I didn't play much of it, it's really entertaining. Man, I'm covering my face all up. It's very entertaining, very well plot. Graphics are phenomenal. Kevin Spacey is a beast. I like the story. Multiplayer, I love the customization, being able to put new gear on your person.
Oh, yeah, that's something we didn't touch on.
Oh, well, then you're welcome. I do not understand why certain gear has a time limit on. Like, okay, you could have this cool-ass helmet, but you only get it for 30 minutes, so enjoy it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add any special ability at all. My face is not on camera, sorry. That I don't understand, but I like the customization. I like the weapons. I love the score streaks. The perks, I wish there was a sleight of hand, but I'll get over it.
I know with this duty, they had to, like, you can definitely tell they had to give and take some stuff. You know, that to have a certain thing, they had to sacrifice something else.
Well, I actually got to benefit from using every single score streak in this game, at least once. I do have my favorites. I do like the fact you could customize a score streak. That's something brand new to this game, which is where you could add certain things to your score streaks that you could do with them. Like, for one, I'm running UAV, orbital care package, and remote turret. And I got 3 customized spots on each one of them.
Delia, what are you doing? Yo, this cat is being a fucking dick.
Hey, don't be putting your pussy on a pedestal.
No, this is what he wants. He wants this bottle cap. Because he's a fucking psycho.
So give
Why?
it
Give
to
him the bottle cap.
It has double XP on it. It really does. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, you flash that code in the camera so everyone can put it in before you.
Fuck off. Oh, what are we doing? You showing how bad you suck there, Spaz?
Yeah, I'm trying to play with one hand.
It's not recommended. Well, what do you think, Rhino? What do you think about the score streaks and the customization?
I like the customization of the score streaks. I like how you can change it to support so that even though you die, you can still work towards your score streak. But without support being there, like I said before, majority of the kill streaks are shit. The Vulcan is shit. The Paladin is probably the only other good one. You don't get barely any kills. The bombing run might be alright. But they're also scored too high. If you don't have support, you're most likely not getting it. Unless you go on a rampage.
Yeah, I beg to differ. Like, the Vulcan, it does suck at first, but if you customize it right, because I thought so too, because how long it takes, for one. You're trying to draw out that beam, and it's like taking forever, and by the time you get there, it's like you're doing all that for like 1 or 2 kills, which really pissed me off. But then when I found out you could customize your score streaks differently, I actually picked this one where it's immediate. You got 3 beams, and basically it lasts longer. So I was able to get a good bit of kills with that. To me, the most cheapest score streak, not cheap as in literally cheap, like less kills, is the Goliath. I mean, it feels like such a ripoff from Titanfall. It really does.
If you think that the Goliath is the only thing that feels like Titanfall, you've been playing a different duty than I have.
Oh, no, that's not the only thing, but that's the one that really just, it's like, okay, now I'm playing Titanfall every single time I step in a Goliath.
I've never felt that, though, ever. I've never got that feeling.
Did you use Goliath more than once?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that it's very influenced by Titanfall, but I never got that feeling. Even when I was in the Titan or Goliath, whatever you want to call it, it feels more powerful, even though, and it's crazy to say that because you would think that you would get that feeling in Titanfall, when I never got that feeling. When you're in the Goliath here, you fucking feel like you're in a mech, but it's still kind of shitty. And I never got the feeling of I was playing Titanfall, ever.
That's the thing. When you play Titanfall, I can explain this feeling to you. When you play Titanfall, everybody gets a Titan in, 2 minutes? I think it takes for the Titan to come in, or
If that, yeah.
your kill streaks. But everybody has a Titan. So when you get a Titan, you're fighting Titans. So it's an equal playing field. On duty, you get a Goliath, you're against regular people. If you were playing Titanfall and you was the only one in a Titan, you'd have that feeling.
Right. Well, what do you think about the customization of your character, the equipment and all that shit? What do you think about that?
Well, you already know what I think, so go ahead, Ryan, and answer that question.
I don't like it. I mean, I think that was something that Rainbow Six forced Call of Duty to do, because Rainbow Six, to me, always had the best customization for your character, and Call of Duty slowly itching its way there. As far as how you acquire some of the pieces to customize, I don't like how you do that. I'm still not entirely sure how the bloodshed and things like that work as far as supply drops and keeping that stuff. But getting the Mountain Dew code exo suits and all the things like that adds a
Mhm.
nice touch to the game as far as feeling individual from everybody else.
Right
Yeah.
on. Right.
I mean, I like the
Well,
aesthetic. It's been a long time coming. They should have been doing this, years ago. I'm glad they integrated it now. I think they could be adding a lot more, considering the finances they get from the season pass and all this. Um, but for the most part, what it is, I do like what you get. And there's one article I have pulled up here that I just want to read real quick. It's about the new thing that they added into the game called supply drops, which if you've played Battlefield, it's essentially what it is. But I'm just going to read through it real quick here. Supply drops are a brand new a way to earn items in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare multiplayer. They can be earned through various reasons: playtime in multiplayer, exo survival, or even campaign by completing challenges. Weapon loot are some simple variants of base weapons that you can earn from supply drops. They offer unique camos, modified stats, and weapon attachments that cannot be removed, nor do they count towards the Pick 13 system. That was something I was not aware of, so that's pretty awesome. Each weapon has up to 10 variations from the supply drops. You get weapons that have different level of rarity. Some weapons have attachments that are locked to that weapon. They cannot be taken off. Then there's also reinforcements that you can get. They're rare items you can earn from the supply drops. These items can be used during multiplayer games. Some are perks, others are score streaks that can be used in multiplayer matches, and some are double XP or rapid supply drops. And lastly is the character gear. It's customization items you can earn through the supply drops. These items can be placed on your character when creating an operator in the multiplayer lobby. The items range from eyewear, hats, shoes, to kneecaps. These items are 100% cosmetic, so basically you don't get any stat boosts from it. But like you said, Spaz, you will earn some by doing challenges or even possibly getting some. I don't think you got these in the supply drop, but you earn specific gear by doing specific challenges. But there's a timer on them, so they expire. You literally don't get anything from it, and they really don't look that great. And I didn't understand the whole point of putting it in there because it's not benefiting you at all, and the gear isn't really that great.
right. That's what I don't understand either. Like, at first, when you see it, it got that little tiny bit of wow factor, like, oh my god, this helmet is so awesome. But then, by the time now, you've seen everyone at least wearing it once and everything, and it's just like, oh, this is nothing cool. But then, like, the Bloodshed helmet is the most common one out of all of them. Everyone at least gets that, like, once a game, and it's just, like, ridiculous. It's like, oh, Bloodshed expired. Oh, never mind, you got the Bloodshed helmet. Like, okay, I don't give a fuck because I'll just not wear it because it's only 30 minutes.
Right.
There has to be something with it, so I looked into it. I was wondering why is there a timer on her gear. Now, an article is like, oh, you have 30 minutes, and if you collect all of the gear, then you get something special. Well, then I read more into it. That was a lot. Someone trolled everyone. So good job. Kudos to you, faggot, for trolling everyone. Got nothing better to do with your life than to slap your mom in the face.
You sounded like an android there for a minute, Spaz.
Oh my god, Mr. Roboto. Now, moving on, that like it's just there's no point. I don't understand if it was a really cool weapon, right? Where like if they gave you like an option to have like 5 attachments on a weapon, but you only have 30 minutes to use this weapon. That would be cool, because that's actually something you could utilize and actually have it benefit you, That's
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
That
What do you
would
think,
just-
Rhino?
That would just lead to OP weapons, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, you got a point too, Mr. Negative.
I mean, I was just telling it how it is. You put in a gun like that's on a timer that does really well, that's an OP weapon. And for that half an hour, that dude's going to be pissing off a lot of people.
Right.
You got to
Well,
think too. If they can get it specific, if they can get an OP weapon, for a specific amount of time, it's only a matter of time before people start exploiting that, boosting. That way, every time you play a lobby, it's going to be a fucking special weapon that everyone's using, a rocket launcher or a fucking score streak. You know what I mean? And it's just going to kill the game. I mean, look, we've encountered a fucking a glitch already. What map is it on, Spaz? It's like your favorite map.
Comeback. No, not comeback. Horizon.
Horizon. That's the one. It's a
And,
fucking glitch already.
thing is then where the secondary team, which it would be Sentinels most likely, where the spawn is in the left-hand bottom corner of the map, there's a little section with 2 closets in the room. And what happens is somehow 2 idiots, and I do believe Rhino Rancor here was in the room with me. Yeah, I think he's the one who actually discovered it.
We all 3 were there.
Yeah. I just happened to get killed first.
Right. Well, what happens is they was able to get into these closets where you can't actually see them. Well, you can. You can see their guns sticking out, and you can see them in there, but you can't shoot them. But they can shoot out, and they'll kill you. Which, guys, like, why are you going to spend $60 and exploit something like this and use it to your advantage and ruin everyone else's experience?
That's the whole
game.
reason. That's
Well,
the
I
only
mean-
reason they buy that game is to find them glitches and exploit them to piss people off.
Right.
That's why they're trolls. That's their sole purpose in life because they have nothing else to do, and eventually their balls will drop and they'll grow up. But until then, we have to deal with them.
Maybe. But that's the whole point. So if there was OP weapons, someone would exploit it, and it would ruin it even worse. You know what I mean?
But you know what they should do?
I know exactly what I'm going to do then. I'm going to do a Jay and Silent Bob. I'm going to find out where these people live. I'm going to go to GoFundMe.com, get some money, and fly my ass to these people's houses and whoop their ass on their doorstep.
The
If only
fix,
it was that easy.
the fix for that's actually simple as far as getting in that room and glitching, because I think it was either World of War or Call of Duty 2. I forget which map it was, but they were using a glitch to get up inside the trees. So they actually put a kill switch inside the trees, so when you got inside of that area, it automatically killed you. So they do that on this area where you get in that glass closet, boom, you're dead.
Matter of fact, I wish I remembered their names because I did tell Rhino and Tommy here that I was going to put their gamer tags on here and have everyone report them, but I cannot do that. But I'll tell you what, gentlemen. Overall, I rate this game for a Call of Duty game because previous episodes you heard me bitch and say I'm not going to get this game. Well, you fucking got me to get it, so that's awesome. I hate you, but I love you for it because I actually give this game an 8 out of 10 for it being a Call of Duty. Overall.
I gotcha.
But I'll tell you what, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go ahead and go online here on Call of Duty. My gamer tag is LocalSpaz, all one word. And also, I will be making a video tomorrow for a more detailed take on my aspects of the game, as I told Tommy here. And also, I do believe, what time are you guys going to be on tomorrow night?
I don't know, because I have to work early on Friday, so I don't know if I'm going to be up late or not.
Same situation with me.
I don't know.
Right. Well, I was planning on being online around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cordially invite anyone who wants to play some Call of Duty with me, and if they're online, Rhino and Tommy here, feel free to jump in, chat with us, and talk it up about some video games, play a couple games with us. We're open to any of that. But if you are a troll, don't feel bad if we cuss you out.
Go get mouth raped.
Yeah. But we are pretty friendly. And plus, I mean, it's Call of Duty. We just like to stack bodies. So if you like that and you want to talk games, join us.
Well, is there anything you wanted to add to this, Rhino? Anything you wanted to go over that we didn't go over, or you want to talk about something a little bit more extensive?
Nah, I think we pretty much covered that.
All right, so So this Call of Duty, what would you give it then?
I'd probably be pretty close with Spaz. 8 out of 10. If they make the fixes that need to be made, they could go up to 9 out of 10.
I do want to add something, actually. I did. The reason I didn't give it a 9 out of 10 is because of the season pass.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm a DLC whore, and I like to get that shit. But $49.99 for a season pass, are you guys going to agree with me if I say that's too expensive for a season pass?
I would. Yeah, it's definitely too expensive. I mean, granted, you get a lot of content, but that content normally, in most cases, we're already in the game, or it's on the disc already. So yeah, another $50 for a season pass? No. Maybe
not only that, it's going to
30.
be cheaper down the road. Give it 3 months time, and it's going to be cheaper. It's going to be knocked down a couple, like 10% or something like that.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they charge that much right away is ridiculous.
That's because you get the zombies with it. But now they're saying that they're going to release the zombies where you don't have to have the season pass to play it. But you're still going to have to pay separately for the zombies. So, assuming that they make it $20 to get the zombies, you're better off just paying for the season pass.
Right.
Yeah. Nickel and diamond at its finest.
Absolutely.
But let's wrap it up here because I'm going to get ready to go eat, and then in a little bit I'm going to jump on some duty.
Yeah, well, I'm already on right now, so like I said, anybody out there watching, go ahead and send me a friend request.
Well, I can tell you this. You guys see the overlay that I have here. This is all the ways you can contact us. We got Twitter, we got YouTube, I got a Twitch. I didn't know the Twitch account for Dizzaster Gaming. I also got a Steam account. I think I'm the only one that has Steam account on there, but all the information's here, so if you ever want to play the games with us or just have a general conversation, all the stuff's right here. You can write it down, do whatever.
Right. And also to remind you, if you do join me in the special moods I get, I do go on a trolling spree myself, and it is somewhat funny. So if you want to witness that, you gotta be interaction. You gotta interact with us.
50 likes on this video, and Spaz will troll with you.
Yes, I will. You know what? I'll agree to that. I'll tickle your butthole with my nose.
100 likes, and Spaz will buy a muzzle to wear while we're playing.
All right, well.
Motherfucker.
Well, it's been your boy. It's been real, and I'm out of here.
Peace, everybody.
I love you.